Number 8. Todd MULLIS. Police in Earlville, Iowa, received an unusual call in 2018 when a farmer named Todd MULLIS claimed that his wife, Amy, was unresponsive after what appeared to be a freak accident in their shed. He told the 911 operator that she had no pulse and that she looked gone. MULLIS told the police that their son found Amy with a corn rake through her chest and that she must have fallen on the tool. The son removed the rake from his mother's body and they rushed her to the hospital, but it was too late to save Amy, who was pronounced dead at the hospital after losing so much blood. The emergency room doctor who tried to save her life noticed that her injuries didn't add up to Todd's story. She had 6 puncture wounds, yet the corn rake she supposedly fell on only had 4 tines. Detectives soon learned that Todd and Amy had a troubling marriage. They tied the knot in 2004 and had 3 children together, but at some point, Amy began to stray. At the time of her death, she was cheating on Todd with someone who worked on their farm. Todd initially denied knowing about the affair, but people who knew the couple told investigators that he had caught Amy with her secret lover. They stopped sharing a bed, and Amy told her friends that if anything happened to her, Todd was responsible. A search of their home computer revealed that shortly before her death, he had researched how the Aztecs punished cheating spouses. Todd was found guilty of first-degree murder and will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Number 7. Jacqueline Alexandra Rivera. When someone suspects their partner of cheating, it can cause them to act extremely irrational and do things they wouldn't normally do. One Northern California woman took things to such an extreme that she ended up with a criminal record. Back in 2012, 18-year-old Jacqueline Alexandra Rivera began to suspect that her boyfriend at the time was cheating on her. She went to the 21-year-old's home in San Mateo to discuss his concerns, but he refused to talk about it, and the relationship ended. Rivera returned to the man's house around 3 o'clock in the morning, snuck into his bedroom, and lit his bed on fire. She snuck away before his father heard him screaming and put the flames out with a garden hose. He suffered from burns to his arms and legs, but nobody called the police. Weeks later, Rivera's friend told the ex-boyfriend that Rivera had confessed to committing the crime. The person also called the police, and they quickly arrested her. Rivera was found mentally unfit to stand trial, but this didn't get her off the hook for her crimes. She spent the next 2 years in a psychiatric facility until her mental health was restored. The trial proceeded, and she pled no contest in exchange for a maximum 5-year prison sentence. Number 6. Tu Tia Huyn. 29-year-old Tu Tia Huyn was shocked to find her 34-year-old husband, Stephen Hafer, dead in the bedroom of their Houston, Texas home in early 2017. She called the police claiming that Stephen had killed himself, but detectives believed that the evidence told a much different story and that perhaps Huyn had a reason for wanting her husband dead. The Houston Police Department said that trajectory of the bullet was uncharacteristic of a suicide, and the shotgun that Stephen supposedly shot himself with had been wiped clean. Hyun's story repeatedly kept changing, and she eventually admitted that she had been cheating on her husband with an ex-boyfriend. Stephen's parents later told ABC 13 that they had noticed some tension between the couple during their last holiday visit, and that the two were having money problems. Shortly before his death, their son said that he was planning to leave Huyn and move out of state with their 2-year-old daughter. Police charged Huyn with killing Stephen, but she maintained her innocence throughout the entire case. A medical examiner ultimately determined that Stephen's death was, in fact, a suicide after all, and Huyn was cleared of all charges. She accused the authorities of attacking her right from the beginning, causing her to lose her job as a nurse and robbing her of the ability to properly mourn her husband. It's probably fair to say that her affair and the couple's other problems are what made her such a strong suspect, but just because someone cheats on their partner, it doesn't make them a killer. Number 5. A burned bride-to-be. Find out you're being cheated on is one of the worst feelings a person can go through. But it's even worse when the cheater is having an affair with someone you know and trust. One bride-to-be wanted to make sure that she got the last laugh after finding out that her fiancé was cheating on her with her best friend. She ordered a custom necklace from New York-based jewelry designer Liv Portillo and had it engraved with the words, "Have my leftovers." The woman planned to give the jewelry to her friend for her birthday as a way of letting her backstabbing buddy know that she had found out about the affair. She planned to do it in front of other people, and she paid for the necklace with her fiancé's credit card. Portillo, who owns the jewelry company DBL Jewelry, posted the story on TikTok. Many users commented that it was a shame that such a beautiful necklace had such a sad backstory to it. Others wrote that they wish they knew what happened when the customer gave the gift to what, I'm guessing, is now her former best friend. What would you do if you found out your fiancé was cheating on you with your best friend? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Number 4. TAVNER Smith. 41-year-old TAVNER Smith is well known as the pastor of Venue Church, a megachurch in Chattanooga, Tennessee, that made news headlines in the past for allegedly being a brainwashing cult that's getting rich off people's donations. Smith started the church in 2012 and spent copious amounts of time recruiting members. His efforts paid off. In just a few years, Venue Church became one of the fastest-growing churches in the U.S. The ambitious pastor strongly urged worshipers to donate, claiming that it would bless their personal finances. Naturally, many people saw this as a classically cultish strategy for brainwashing followers and taking their money. The church nevertheless continued to grow, and by the end of last year, it had a presence in 2 states, with as many as 2,000 people attending each service. But its glory days become numbered when people began to suspect that Smith was cheating on his wife. In December, some volunteers paid the married father of 3 a surprise visit at his home. Smith was in his boxers and had a female church employee over. She was wrapped in a towel. He claimed that he had spilled chili on their clothes and had to wash them, but the visitors didn't buy the story. They had noticed long before then that Smith and the woman, who was also married, seemed to be joined at the hip. The pair spent a lot of time alone in his office and exchanged comments on social media that seemed overly friendly. Rumors began to fly about them having an affair, and a video of the couple kissing in a restaurant began circulating online. Smith never publicly admitted to the affair. He announced last year that he and his wife were divorcing and took a short break from preaching to get his life in order. People began to leave the church and stop donating as the preacher's personal life unraveled. Meanwhile, former members and employees took to social media with stories about how the church had allegedly abused them and taken advantage of their pocketbooks for years. It wasn't long before Smith returned to preaching. His sermons became increasingly pushy and aggressive as he criticized members for not donating enough and told them not to associate with those who had left. The future of Venue Church remains uncertain, but it seems as though Smith's infidelity and shady fundraising techniques may have caught up to him for good. Number 3. Teen Tragedy. A new year is supposed to make new beginnings, but this sadly wasn't the case for 15-year-old Diamond Alvarez, who was recently found fighting for her life on a sidewalk outside her Houston, Texas home. Someone had fired 22 bullets into her from behind and left her for dead. It was too late to save the teen. Diamond had left to walk the family dog and never came home. When the dog returned alone, her family knew that something was wrong and went out to look for her. She died in her mother's arms. Investigators soon learned that Diamond had met up with a young man she had recently broken up with after finding out that he was cheating on her. The pair had dated for 6 months when she discovered his double life. Before Diamond met up with him, on the day of her death, he sent her a text message telling her to keep their relationship a secret. When police went to arrest 17-year-old Frank DeLeon Jr. at his home, they found a suitcase on his bed filled with clothing and toiletries. Based on the amount of items, prosecutors said that it was not simply an overnight bag, implying that DeLeon had plans to flee town and live on the run. They told the judge that they were concerned about him showing up for court, and the high school senior's bond was set at $250,000. He managed to come up with enough money and was released on house arrest. Diamond's mother told local station KHOU that she's devastated about DeLeon's release and that his bond was so low. She also said that she's scared because he lives near her and the family had already received threats from people. The community is demanding justice for Diamond, whose life was senselessly cut short when it was just starting. Number 2. Reality star rendezvous. The reality show 90 Day Fiancé is known for its controversial couples. During season 7, viewers met Michael Jessen, a 40-something wine entrepreneur from Connecticut who brought his 23-year-old bride-to-be to the U.S. on a fiancé visa. Many people accused the young Brazilian model, named Juliana Custodio, of using her wealthy older husband for money and a green card. But initially skeptical fans began to change their minds about Juliana as they saw her interacting with Michael's kids and getting along with his ex-wife, Sarah. Juliana's willingness to act in the children's best interests and her respect for the mother seemed genuine and mature. Around the time the COVID-19 pandemic began, Sarah was diagnosed with cancer. She and her husband, Sean, fell on hard times, and Michael and Juliana welcomed the couple into their home. For a while, the household seemed like a modern-day Brady Bunch. They put on their best faces for social media, leaving fans both shocked and impressed. After all, it's one thing to get along with your partner's ex, but it's another to let them move in and live as one big happy family. But things weren't as picture perfect as they seemed. Several months ago, Michael and Juliana announced that they were splitting. Juliana accused Michael's family of treating her like a maid and living off her money. She abruptly relocated to Germany and revealed right after the move that she's pregnant by her new boyfriend, Ben. Michael was reportedly devastated by the news, which came with rumors that Sarah's husband might be the baby's father. An anonymous tipster told the media that they saw Juliana and Sean making out at the family's home a few months ago, and that Sarah suspected an affair and questioned the baby's paternity. Juliana denied the rumors and insisted that Ben is the baby's dad, but not everyone is convinced. The drama is still unfolding, but many people have already made up their minds and are harassing Juliana on social media. It doesn't help that shortly before the split became public, Juliana made a cryptic post telling her followers that soon everyone was going to hate her. And number 1, sickle-wielding scorned husband. It doesn't take much for an argument about an affair to get out of hand. This recently happened in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu, where a 31-year-old man lost his temper and hacked his wife to death with a sickle. Identified by police as K. Kumar, the accused murderer had confronted his 25-year-old spouse about her ongoing romance with another man. She often visited her lover, and they kept in touch over the phone. Kumar apparently got sick of it, and a fight broke out in the early hours of the morning. He flew into a fit of uncontrolled rage and attacked her with a weapon. She died immediately from her injuries, according to the police. Sadly, cases like this are not uncommon in India, where violence against women is high. In June of last year, a 55-year-old man stabbed his wife to death in the streets of Gujarat because he thought she was cheating on him. A few months before that, a 40-year-old Delhi resident killed his wife in public. She had refused to quit her job and become a homemaker, leading him to think that she was having an affair with a coworker. The woman left her controlling husband and moved in with her parents, but he tracked her down and stabbed her. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to learn about more instances of cheating gone wrong, let us know in the comments below and be sure to subscribe. See you next time.